Hello, ECE 240, and welcome to week 15, chapter 15, where we talk about peers and play. Before we start, once again, make sure that you have completed all of your observations. If you have a 0 in any of your observations, you must complete all of them to pass this class. Out of all my years teaching here at AWC, I have not had to fail a student yet because they have not completed all of their observations, but it is a must. So please complete all your observations, putting you in a good position to get the best grade in this class. This week, really want us to focus on the word play and really have a full understanding of the importance of play. And so, starting really quick with some kind of notes from our book in the area of play. For children, especially our children birth to 5 and even in the elementary years, play is a pleasurable activity that is engaged in for its own sake, and social play is one type of play. We're going to learn about the different types of play, but social play is very important. It is an opportunity where kids get to play with others and really execute those executive function skills, the self-regulation, and really where they learn how to work well with others, the things that we want in the workplace, the things that we want to learn in our relationships, to learn empathy and to support, and when to know when to take a lead role and when to support in an activity with other children, with their peers. Play makes important contributions to young children's cognitive and social emotional development. Those are two key things we've talked about. So it's important that not only that children have adults in their lives that support the cognitive and social emotional development, but they need to be able to do it with their peers. And this is how kids learn at the end of the day, through play, through the parents and through the professionals, the educators. They're providing environments that allow children to make choices and to use their imagination, to take on roles, to be able to support their cognitive and social emotional development. According to these theorists right here, play helps the child master anxieties and conflicts, right? Going back to the social emotional component and how it supports our children's social emotional learning. And also, play is very important for our children as it allows them to work off excess physical energy and to release up off tensions, right? They need to be able to go run. They need to be able to go climb and do all these wonderful things to get all that energy out. So then play also supports their physical development as well. Play's functions. So one of the theories we learned about Vygotsky talks about that it's also considered play to be an excellent setting for cognitive development. So once again, you see the importance of play, the relationship that play has with cognitive development. Yes, we want to make sure that children are engaged in make-believe play. We want them to be able to take a rock or a stick and make it into a car or a horse or anything like that. Make believe is very powerful. Imagination is a powerful tool that we must provide and allow our children to have the time to make believe. We also need to know that for our younger children that imagination is real for them, right? And so they get very engaged and involved in that play. And us, the educators, us, the adults, we need to be there to support, not always to take on the leadership role, but to enhance that play. Because that imaginary play, once again, supports cognitive development, and especially creative thought. We're always looking for those leaders that can think out the box. Well, imaginary play supports that, right? So play supports cognitive development, social emotional development period. But we have to remember the importance of providing imaginary play. I want to come down to this quote right here. The role of play in early childhood development is incredibly important. It is the most simply described. Play is the work of children. That's what I love right here. Yes, that is the job. That is the full-time job that children should have. Play. Because play equals learning. Playing with parents and caregivers promotes a bond. So, yes, we want children to play with their peers, but us, the adults, as we're engaged and follow their lead, that supports that strong attachment that we've talked about, right? We need to make time for this. We can never be too busy to allow ourselves to engage and play. We need to check ourselves when we say, no, I'm too busy, I got this and that. Because just like we have our work, the work of children is for them to have the opportunity to play. And we need to support that play. Because as we build those relationships and secure attachments, that's where children feel secure. So play does so much. And I want people to understand that play is learning. Play is necessary. And in that quote right there, play is the work of children. So they need that play to be able to learn how to work with their peers, but also us as the adults to stretch and scaffold, build on that play. Okay? Here's a cool quote that I like that comes from the National Education Association of Young Children. You're going to hear a lot of things repeated here, but I want to give this to you. Play improves the cognitive, physical, social, and emotional well-being of children and young people. Through play, children learn about the world and themselves. They also learn skills they need to study, to work, to build relationships, and also to build their confidence and self-esteem. So all these things that we've been talking about this year, you can see how it's all rolled into the word play. This is how children learn, and children need play. It is their work. All right? One of the things that I also want to be able to attach to the word play is early literacy. This is where children have the opportunity to use new words, to extend and enhance their vocabulary, where they own the words, where they're just not having the words given to them by reading a book, where they can use it. So let me give you an example. There's that book, No David, that I love. And in the book, No David, he's caught picking his nose. If you want to look at that book, No David by David Shannon. And his mom's always telling him no. And in one of the pages, he's picking his nose, and his mom says, "Stop that this instant." The word instant means like right now, and I would scaffold and teach that to my children. But when I was an educator and they would go out to the playground, the bicycles, the tricycles were always the big hit. And so they would get 2 or 3 laps around our track. But when I taught them the word instant from the book No David, this was very early in the school year, not even a month in, weeks in, I wanted them to then use that word in their play. And so they would kindly have to say, please stop this instant. It's my turn. So now that word becomes real to them because they use it, but more importantly, they own it. So play is a wonderful opportunity to make words real for children, to expand their vocabulary, to take those words, we're teaching them intentionally through early literacy activities like reading a book, singing songs, to give them the opportunity then to actually use it during play, during their work. So yes, play is important. It is critical. It's foundational. It is learning, and it is children's work. What I wanted to do really quick before we end this video was give you the opportunity to see what we got this week. So this is a great article on 10 things every parent should know about play. It reinforces this lecture really quick, okay? But it's a great tool to have. And this video is amazing. It really then breaks down and gives you a little more of the science behind play and why it's so critically important, okay? Also, you have some other wonderful handouts here. A TED Talk around play and playful inquiry, what play can teach us, and then also play in children's learning from the National Association of the Education of Young Children, and then a local news article that was put here about the importance of play and even going to those elementary years and kind of having these playgrounds that allow children to play. So this was in, I believe, in the Yuma Sun that I have here. So I just want to make it local. What you have after you read this article, after you watch the video, of course, you have your quiz that's due on Sunday, but you have your discussion of the week. So define and give one example of the types of play, including sensory motor, practice, symbolic, social, and constructive. So your book does a really nice job of breaking down the different types of play. So I want you to define those and give one example because I want you to own those, okay? And I want you then to tell me why play is an important part of children's learning and development. So kind of combine your words with what you're learning from the videos, and I want there to be some evidence from the book and videos, and then your own opinion attached to that, okay? So this is what this week is about. It's about play, fully leaving this week understanding why play is so important, the different types of play, so that when you leave this class, when you interact with children in the future, you can be the adult in their lives that supports and promotes the importance of play to get all of those developmental pieces out of play. We, the adults, have the opportunity to be a champion, to support children to meet their fullest potential by supporting and making time. That's the key word, making time to allow them to play. And if you go back to that week on executive function skills, that handout from Harvard gives you some great activities, and you look at their activities, all the activities to support executive function skills all have to do in a delivery system of play, right? So go back to that handout. If you haven't downloaded it and printed it out, it's a must that you must own before this semester is over. Next week is our last week. We'll be covering 2 chapters next week. And also in this video, I will be supporting you to have a better understanding of your final. I wish all of you a wonderful week. Please, please finish strong. The finish line is just right there. All right. If you need anything, please feel free to contact me. I'm here to support you, support your success during the semester, and also when the semester is done. All right, you guys. I wish you a successful week. Take care, and I look forward to reading your work. Bye-bye.